Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Adam Rateliff with Adam So Fun, and we are continuing our series on stitching this quilt from start to finish. In video 1, we loaded the quilt. Video 2, we basted the quilt. Video 3, we brought in designs to Q-Matic, what the designs we're going to use on this quilt, and so now we're ready to stitch. So it's a new day, new clothes. Between this video and the last video, I went off and I was teaching. So I'm back, I'm ready to do this. One of the things I always do when I know I'm gonna be using Q-Matic is I make sure I engage my belts. I'm gonna flop my levers, and I haven't done that yet, so let me do that really quick. And I'm gonna engage those belts because when I boot up Q-Matic, it's gonna ask me to create my safe area, and those belts have to be engaged to do that. So when, if I just keep them engaged, I don't have to worry about changing them later. So I'm gonna take you over to the computer. We're gonna kind of go at a different angle so you can see the computer, we can see what we're doing together over there. But before we go over there, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you're notified when new videos drop, and follow me on social media, Adam So Fun with an SCW on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. So we'll see you in the front of the video in a second. All right, I'm trying to make it so you can see everything, but we're gonna start Q-Matic. So I'm just gonna double tap. I could use my mouse and use my keyboard, but since I'm here, I want you to see what I'm doing. So I want you to see that I'm tapping the screen and all of those things. So I'm just gonna use my hand. And so it's telling me to create my safe area because it's booting up. So I'm gonna use everything on my sew head. So if I'm gonna come over here, move my sew head, and it's asking me to go to the top corner. So let me show you where I'm going. All right, so the sew head has changed because it's setting the top left corner, and we're gonna set the bottom right corner. So I'm gonna take my machine over here, and what I usually do is I'm gonna look, I like to stitch off the edge. You can see that I'm using the cut clip. I think we talked about that in the last video. I'm gonna look, this rolled up pretty straight. I'm gonna go off the edge some, because remember, we can always crop this later, but we can't add more later. Essentially we can, but we can crop things off really easy. So I'm just gonna go a little bit farther than the edge that I need to, and then I'm gonna move up, and I'm gonna go just a little bit higher than my plumb line. We made that plumb line, we know this is nice and straight, so I don't have to go much higher than that, and then I can just go right up to my screen and hit set. Now the computer has logged that one point, and now it's showing me that I need to do the bottom right corner. So I'm gonna move to the bottom right, and I like to come all the way to my bar. Sorry, there we go. So I'm all the way as close as I can get, and I'm gonna drive over here to the right side. So let me go grab the machine. I'm moving the machine, moving camera. We do have Easy Glide activated, so it makes it easier to move the machine with the belts. And I'm gonna go just like that, just off a little bit. And I can see that this one also wound up pretty tight, pretty close, maybe a little farther. Again, I can always crop things off, and I'm gonna hit set. And now if I look at my screen, I have a nice big red box that is my safe area. Now I can put in the dimensions of this quilt, and I knew what they were last week when I was here, and now I can't think of them. Let me grab a tape measure, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I had to find a measuring tape. I couldn't even find my regular sewing tape. So my quilt size is 58 by 58. I'm going to create a quilt size larger than that because I like to make things bigger. Again, I want to make it bigger than smaller. So I'm going to come over. Remember, we can hit our eye if we want to. If you're new to Q-Matic, you can come over here and you can change, or if you hit the eye, it tells you what those are. A lot of us are really used to the icons. So I'm gonna hit this icon right here, which is quilt size. So I'm gonna hit my quilt size. It says 60 by 60, but let's just say it's 62 by 62. And I'm just gonna tap in and hit 62. If I did have my keyboard and mouse, I could also use those. Love that. The big red lines are the quilt we're gonna make. The inner red lines are the safe area. Okay, so the safe area really is just larger than my quilt, but this is gonna let me create the design I want, the size I want, and then just crop out everything that's left. And so now we're ready to bring in our design. I think I want to use the rounded design. So I'm going to double tap this. This is circuit board rounded. This is a design that's available from OESD. And if you are watching this video during April of 2025, I do have an OESD discount. It is posted on my Adam So Fun Facebook and Instagram, so go watch me there. So here's the design. One of the things I really love is this 1-in-1. It's called actual size up here. And so what I'm gonna do, make sure I'm not standing right in front of the screen. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit that. And this shows me the actual size that this design is gonna stitch. Now, this is pretty dense. That whole design is the size of my hand. I like to stitch things that are much bigger than that. So I'm gonna go to my resize, and down here is resize. Remember, we can hit that. So it's the little square that's getting bigger. And right now it's showing me that the size of this design is 5 3/5 or 5.35 by 4.74. That is way too small for me. We're gonna be here all day. So I'm just gonna use keypad. That lets me change this. I could have also used my screen or my sew head. And I am gonna maintain the aspect ratio because I wanna keep it the way it looks. But let's say I wanna make this 10 inches tall. And I'm gonna hit OK. So now it's 10 by 8.86. And I'm gonna look, and 1-in-1. And now look, it's like 4 of my hands. I like this much better. We're gonna set this up, we're gonna look how I like it, and then we might actually change the size a little bit more. But this is what I usually do. And then I'm gonna hit this little eye because that's gonna be, let us see everything. Now I have my design. I wanna set up my rows. So I can come here, we're gonna hit the, it's called E to E plus. And I'm gonna drag my design over here, and then I can just add rows across, or columns across. This is how easy it is to set up an edge to edge. They've made it so easy on this. And now I want rows down. So I'm gonna go to my multiply. I can multiply across here as well, but I like to use the edge to edge button to get my first row. And then I need to add some, that goes down. But if I look in and I zoom in, I'm gonna do some more. You can see that there's a big gap right there. Can you see that? See how here there's a big gap between these rows? I don't want that gap there. So what I can do, we're gonna zoom out so you can kind of see half the screen if that's okay with you, is we have these icons over here, and these are gonna change vertical and horizontal. I always hit the right, so if I hit this one, it's going the wrong direction, so I wanna come here. And right now it's changing 1/4 inch. But I wanna squish those up together. I want it to look like one big design. I actually really like that. This fits really nicely together. You can't tell where one ends and where the next one starts. And then obviously we have to add some more. And remember, we're gonna crop off everything we don't want. So I'm set up, I'm gonna hit OK, red check. And now I'm ready. I'm ready to start quilting. That's how easy it is to set up an edge to edge. I could take this and move it and kind of audition it to where I like. Maybe I want some straighter lines at the top and this and that. Maybe I want it to really start over here. I can put it here, but now I'm gonna lose some spaces. So this is a really nice one to kind of crop some parts off. And if I start right, there we are. If I start right there, no, it's gonna take away that. So we wanna go about here and there. A mouse would move that a lot easier. And now I'm ready to quilt. I've set it up. I can hit my 1-to-1. I really like that spacing. This I think is going to be a new favorite design. Let me zoom you out. And so we've got it all set up. One thing I'm going to do before I go on is I want to save this. So I'm going to go to File, save, and I'm gonna save the project, okay? And I'm gonna, this is going to be my January quilt. So there's my January quilt, and I'm gonna hit save. I wanna make sure I know where it's saving. Oh, it's saving in projects, perfect. Just in case something happens, I can always get back to this, this now. I'm gonna hit my little I. All right, I have everything ready. I have everything saved. Now, I wanna see how many rows I'm gonna be able to do per pass. I can look at this, and this is a new design to me. I can see what it sort of looks like, but I really need to zoom in to be able to see what's going on. So I'm gonna hit my zoom and, hit my zoom over here, and I'm gonna zoom in, Because what I'm looking for is I'm trying to find out where my rows are. I'm gonna zoom you into this so you can see it better because the red just doesn't really do great on the screen. So I can see that my first start point is here, my second start point is here. I can't really tell where one row starts and one row ends looking this way because all of the spacing is really good. They did such a great job at this design, but I do have a little reference. The original design I can look back and reference. So I can see that it starts here and it's gonna stitch, and then if I just follow the kind of gap between the two, it kind of does, I hit the screen. Well, that's probably better to see anyway. It kind of does this. And it goes up and down, and then this one goes up and down. So I can see that here's my safe area, and this is the bottom of that row 2. So I'm gonna be able to stitch row 1 and row 2 and be okay in my safe area. I'm always gonna check that because I wanna see what actually fits. Now I need to go crop everything that isn't going to fit. So I'm going to go to, oh, you can't see this. Let me zoom out. So over here, I'm gonna hit the scissors, it's the trim tool. And I'm not gonna use the screen, I'm gonna use my sew head. So I'm gonna hit sew head. And when I hit sew head, the head of my sewing machine, my long arm, changes because we're setting points again. We also get this right here. This is micro move if you're trying to be super precise. I'm just cropping outside of the quilt. I'm not trying to be super precise to this. But what I want to do is I want to set a dot. And my first dot is going to be right over there at the top corner of my quilt. I always set the top left first. And I'm going to crop this side, and then I'm going to crop that side. So like I said, I'm going just over off the side, just over up off the top, and I'm gonna hit the set button. And when I hit set, if we go back to our Q-Matic screen, you're gonna see that a bunch of stuff turned red. Because right now, it's cropping everything under the line. Because it's set to sew head, it's set to horizontal, and so it's gonna crop everything under that. I don't want that, I wanna crop everything above it. So I'm gonna come right here and I'm gonna hit invert, and now everything turned green except for the stuff on the top. So the black, not green, everything turned back red except for the stuff on the top. The black part of the design is what's getting cropped. I like that, so I'm gonna hit enter. And now I've cropped everything off the top, okay? So now I'm gonna hit trim again. I'm gonna hit sew head. I haven't moved my sew head, so I'm just gonna go walk back and hit set one more time. And now you'll see everything turn red again, but this time I'm gonna hit vertical. And now it wants to cut off everything to the right, but no, I wanna cut off everything to the left. So I'm gonna hit, nope, I'm gonna keep it vertical, but I'm gonna hit invert. Now everything to the left is getting cut off. And I'm gonna hit my green check. If you're like, wait, which one cuts off? You can always preview it and it shows you what's gonna disappear. Super nice. I'm gonna hit my green check, perfect. And now I need to trim off this side. So now I'm gonna bring the machine back over here. And honestly, I don't know why I don't just trim this side first since it's gonna start stitching from the other side, but whatever, that's what I did. It is what it is. So now I have where I want it. I'm gonna hit trim, it's gonna say sew head. I'm gonna hit that set button on my sew head. This time it's trying to do everything, but I want a vertical line, but I do want to crop everything off to the right. Let's preview that. That looks great. There we go. So now we've cropped everything we don't want, okay? But now it wants to stitch, it's gonna stitch the first row and the second row, but we wanna stitch this whole pass. We don't want it to stitch one row and have to do tie-offs and stuff. No, 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 we don't do that anymore, not with Q-Matic. So I'm gonna go back to my select tool. It is red, so it's selected. And over here, I have link and I have unlink, or break apart, I think it's, oh, connect and unconnect. Everybody has a different name for it. So I'm gonna hit unconnect, and it's the circle that has, like breaking the circle apart. And what that just did is it took each row and made it its own element. Instead of each row being all the rows being connected, each row is its own piece. And now I can come here where it says 1, 2, 3. This is our Q, our sew options. I'm gonna DQ all. And I also wanna select every other row. So DQ all, that's telling the machine don't stitch anything. I'll come back and tell it what to stitch. So now I can select every other row. So this is row 2, and right here is swap start and end. So I'm gonna swap start and end, swap start and end, swap start and end, swap start and end. And I'm just doing every other row because now I can pick my first row. I'm going to hit connect. I'm going to hit link to my second row. And what I just told Q-Matic is to stitch across, down, and stitch back. I'm gonna hit OK. I can only stitch those 2 rows right now, so I'm not gonna worry about going through and linking everything. I've made this somewhat bigger. If I go through and link it all, I might not be able to stitch the last 2 rows together. I might lose, because as you roll things onto your back bar, you're gonna lose space, you're gonna lose quilting space. So I might lose some, probably not with this quilt, but with some bigger quilts and puffy battings, just keep that in mind. So I link them as I go. We're ready to stitch. I like that. I'm gonna go to my sew options button, which is the 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna pick, or I'm gonna say select this one, and I wanna cue that. It's gonna select it. It's gonna say number 1. It's gonna show that it's gonna stitch, and then I'm gonna hit my green check. So now the stuff in our Q-Matic that is blue is saying I'm going to stitch. And let me zoom in so you can actually see how blue that is, because it is blue. So now it's just a matter of hitting start. So I'm going to turn you this way. Let's see. And what Q-Matic is going to do is going to stitch the top row all the way to here, come down and stitch the next row all the way back. So when it finishes this pass, we're done with this pass. Like, it's not doing a row in a row, it's doing everything in our throw space. So I'm hitting, just in case you don't know this, sorry, I'm gonna hit start. I want it to start at the start point, so I'll just hit start point. Usually I move the machine over and put it near the start point so it knows where it needs to go. And you're gonna see the machine move here in a second. The brains are thinking in the machine head. And there it goes. It's going to move itself to the start point. It's going to ask me to bring up my bobbin. Oh, I should probably show you that, shouldn't I? Let's see. Now, it's not at the very top of my quilt. That's okay. This is the start point. So on my screen, I have a needle up and down and bring up our bobbin. So I'm going to hold my top thread. I'm going to hit my bobbin button. It's going to do 1 stitch. I can bring up my bobbin. And now I'm ready. So I don't even have to move anywhere. I can stay right here. On my screen, I have the green check mark now. I'm going to hit my green check. And it's gonna start stitching. I'm gonna hold these tight. Now tap that green check and give it a little bit to think. And now it's gonna do that whole area, there and back. So I'll let you watch it. I'm gonna speed it up and we'll see you back here. when it's done. All right, it's done. And I did set a stopwatch. And there you can see it took about 14 minutes and 30 seconds to stitch there and back. Uh-oh, can you see that? Oh, there you go. 14 minutes and 30 seconds. So I always will time out that first pass because I want to know if I go back and look at my screen about how long this is going to take. So what we did is we set our safe space. We set up our design, we cropped it, well, we actually pulled in a design, we resized the design, we cropped the design, we broke the design apart, we switched the starts and ends of every other row, and then we queued up, or we connected the two first rows, we queued them up, and made it so it's gonna stitch both of them together. If I look back at the screen, we've done 2 rows, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 more sets. So this is gonna take me about 60 more minutes of just stitch out time. That's why I like to time it, because each set of rows is gonna take approximately 15 minutes, probably a little more because we did crop off a little bit on the top. So we're gonna have full rows the next time, but we didn't crop off that much. So I'm gonna say 15, maybe 16 minutes. So that will give me an idea of how long this quilt should take. Plus I have to advance and stuff. So we're gonna advance in the next video, just so I can I'm trying to keep the videos short, but I've been editing them and they're not doing that. So in the next video, we are going to talk about how to advance it and then how to move that design up. We'll queue up the next 2, or we'll link the next 2 and then queue them up, and then we'll stitch out that next row. And that's the same process until you get to the end. So thank you for watching. We will see you in the next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you're notified when new videos drop. Follow me on social media, AdamSoFun with an SEW on Facebook and Instagram. And like I said, if you're watching this during April, I have some discount codes for long arm designs over at OESD, and those are posted on my Facebook and Instagram page. So we'll see you in the next one. I'm always saying at the end of the day, it's just quilting. Get out there and quilt. Go have fun, and we'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye.